As mentioned before, we've been doing this for a long time. Since I was a small baby, I've been in transportation trying to affect change. And that's what it feels like sometimes. I feel like a dinosaur in this industry. And we've seen countless companies and apps show up and try and do real-time ride sharing and carpooling apps. And a lot of them get VC funding and they're on the front page one day and then they're gone the next day. And one company in particular, I've been really excited about since they came out. We started working with them. We're partners on several projects. And I'm really excited to just hear a little bit more from Marissa from Scoop today on what the company is working on, what's exciting, and what we should be looking for in 2018. Marissa.
Cool. So yeah, thanks so much for joining during this intermission period. I'm really excited to share a quick overview of Scoop with all of you today. For some context, my name is Marissa Fier. I'm head of enterprise sales here at Scoop. We're the largest carpooling app in the country. And for some history, for those of you who don't know, Scoop was founded by two brothers, Rob and John Sadow. They grew up in Atlanta, and by the time they were 16, they were actually commuting over 250 miles per week to and from school. And as you can imagine, this was a lot of time to spend on the road, but for them, it was actually something quite enjoyable. And they were spending all these moments in the car together, and they really enjoyed the experience. And so fast forward to today, after working in New York and San Francisco, they both realized that the long commute was a challenge everywhere. And they also realized that most people wouldn't consider their commute to be something enjoyable at all, and rather a problem that needed to be addressed. And what's interesting is, despite improvements in cities and counties, the vast majority of us are still driving to work alone. And it's ranked as one of the worst parts of someone's day. And for some context, 3 out of 4 Americans, around 76%, report driving to work alone, and about 2.2 million U.S. workers have at least 1 hour commute to and from work. And when you think about this in terms of total impact and pain that this is causing across Americans, the numbers are pretty staggering. In the Bay Area, for example, time on the road has increased 39% year over year, and congestion doesn't seem to be getting any better. And we know that people want a carpool to help combat the number of cars on the road. They just can't with current systems because it's cumbersome for people to coordinate themselves. It's rigid, often requiring people to travel to and from work with the same people every day at the same time. And the modern commuter needs a different model for carpooling to make it successful. And that's what we built with Scoop. So enter Scoop. We are the largest carpooling app in the country. We allow anyone to take back their wasted time on the road. And sorry, the slides are a little back. And basically turn these moments into something more meaningful with them and their counterpart. The app itself has two core propositions. For our end users, Scoop helps connect coworkers and neighbors, turn wasted moments into something more meaningful for their rides to and from work. And for our partners, we help reduce SOV trips. We empower employees to have a better commute and address a key pain point on every employer's minds, particularly around parking, around reducing congestion, reducing CO2 emissions, attracting talent, entertaining talent by offering a more enjoyable employee experience to and from work. A little bit about how the app works. For carpoolers, they can schedule separate AM and PM trips to fit their work schedule and choose to ride or drive to meet their daily needs. Scoop conducts vehicle history checks on every driver and connects you with neighbors who often work at your company. Our algorithm identifies the most efficient door-to-door trip based on the fastest route, nearby carpoolers, carpool lanes, and tons of other criteria we now know to be best practice for efficient matches and healthy routes. And for employers, we offer our managed carpool program to make carpooling work at scale across their organization through engagement exercises, trip facilitation, and then reporting on impact. And so when you bubble this up to our impact today, it's allowed us to make significant growth in short order. All told, we've put more than 2 million carpools on the road. Riders have saved over 1 million miles in the last quarter alone, and partners have saved thousands of tons of carbon emissions through Scoop's program. And we're actively shifting commuter behavior through both public and private partnerships. A little bit about what we're doing in the region. So we know that education is one of the biggest blockers to mobility on demand today. And there are solutions, but consumers and businesses need to hear about them and the impact they're making. And then there's also the challenge of creating engagement with people once they're aware of carpooling and helping people feel connected to this. And so that's exactly what we're working on with Scoop. We've done it with over 50 customers today. For example, we've rolled out programs with cities across the Bay Area. One in particular that we are really excited about is with San Mateo County. They're facilitating tens of thousands of trips per month through our managed carpool programs. And we're in active discussions across the Bay Area and other cities and counties to make all of our lives better on the road. So what's next for us? Our future is really bright. We're now expanding our enterprise partnerships both in existing markets, but then also expanding to other markets in the US. And we're also working with city and county governments to explore partnership opportunities beyond what we're currently doing today. We're overall really excited to see how Scoop can continue to be a part of the overall solution to lower congestion on the road, help keep our commuters more environmentally aware, and ultimately make a difference that will impact all of us. So thank you so much. I think the 5 minutes are up, and I look forward to hearing from some of you with any questions.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And again, Marissa's contact information is there on the screen. So if you've got any questions for her, write that down, or we also will have the slide decks available after the event.